They're not fighting for their father. They're fighting for their survival.
Diddy's children are trying to escape. After years of abuse and control, they have finally had enough. And this time, they're going away for good. Jaguar Wright saw this coming years ago. And she says, Diddy had it coming.
And these are children.
Christian and Justin are both named in sexual assault lawsuits alongside Diddy. Allegedly, they were present at the freak-offs and at times even helped Diddy find new victims. Jaguar is pulling back the curtains on all these allegations. She wanted the world to know that Diddy was the reason Justin and Quincy had ended up being the way they were. Living with someone as disgusting as Diddy is what made them think all of this was okay.
And I'll say it again, especially with what is happening with Kim's sons. I'm so grateful that she doesn't have to witness any of this. Because this probably would have killed her.
Stopping?
Any white Christian under scrutiny, Quincy being mocked and scorned, the girls now being implicated into home in the essay with their father by a girl who worked the white parties. Like, this is a lot.
If Diddy falls, his kids go down with him. No one is going to hire them after this. And it was Diddy's money that they were spending. None of Diddy's kids have successful careers. And they know this. This is why they've been helping Diddy all along. They're outcasts at this point. At WS was all clear from the start that Diddy wasn't working alone. Finding out that the person helping him was his own son, however, was disgusting.
And they didn't choose it. They were born into this. I don't think anybody's paying attention to that. What choice do they got? If that man calls and say, I need you to do this, I need you to do that, what else are they going to do? They gotta bet on him. I'm sure they're all praying he makes it, because if not, what are they going to do? And they definitely can't count on Grandma Janice.
The reason that Diddy got such a light sentence was because his kids spoke out for him. During the sentencing, all of Diddy's kids said that their father deserves a second chance and begged for mercy. The judge replied saying, I know it was difficult for you guys, but I thank you. I needed to hear this.
All 6 of Diddy's adult children went to the podium and addressed the court. First Quincy, then Justin, then Christian, saying their dad is their superhero. And although he has made mistakes, the man that stands before us today is a changed man. They say he is more patient and remorseful. Christian getting choked up as he spoke. But then his 18-year-old daughter Jessie went to the mic. As she sobbed, she begged the judge to give her dad a second chance, saying she lost her mom at a young age and already has experienced so many milestones without her dad. Her sisters, Delilah and Chance, echoing the same sentiment, all of them heavily sobbing into the mic, just saying, please give my dad a second chance. They too reiterating that he is a changed man and that his demeanor is much different. Diddy is only a few feet away from them. He moved his chair so that he could face the podium. He's not crying, but his head is heavy and his hands are in his lap. Delilah telling the judge that she knows what it's like to grow up without a parent and she doesn't want this to happen to her 2-year-old sister Love. She says every night the toddler asks where her dad is. She then asked the judge to give her dad a second chance, not as a headline, but as a human being. At this point, several of Diddy's attorneys are also wiping away tears. The judge empathetically said, I know this was difficult for you guys, but I thank you. I needed to hear this. The defense then played a 10-minute video highlighting Diddy as a father, a businessman, a philanthropist. Now, another thing I want to know is right before his family spoke, it was his attorney, Nicole Westmoreland, who was on the podium, talking about all his accomplishments, how throughout the years, Diddy has gone out of his way to help people, and how that's his purpose and calling. And then Nicole Westmoreland broke down. Through tears, she talked about his ascent through the business world, how he started the Sean John clothing company, and how he's an inspiration to his community. And then through sobs, she said, he inspired me, and talked about an experience in a speech that touched her that he gave a few years ago at an event.
Diddy forced his kids to say this. Even during the trial, Diddy was using his family as a tool to help him pressure the victims. Prosecutors told the judge that Diddy had been in direct contact with the victims, and his family had also been reaching out to them on his behalf. As a result of Diddy pressuring these victims, several of them refused to testify, and one even wrote a letter to the judge saying that Diddy was innocent.
All right, sing happy birthday to Daddy.
To Daddy.
Keep going.
Happy birthday to Daddy. Keep going, love.
Happy birthday to Daddy.
Yay!
I love y'all so much.
We love you too.
Love you, Pastor.
I can't wait to see y'all.
Yep.
Can't wait to see y'all. And I
Yes,
just
sir.
want to say I'm proud of y'all, especially the girls. I mean, all of y'all, but just for being strong. Thank y'all for being strong, and thank y'all for being by my side and supporting me. I love y'all. I got the best family in the world. My birthday, I'm happy. Thanks to y'all giving me this call. Thank you very much. I love y'all.
Jaguar saw all of this coming a mile away. She knew that Diddy was calling the victims and using his family. Diddy made over 200 calls a day while he was behind bars. He wasn't calling his family 200 times. He was calling the victims. These victims even reported Diddy to the police. But Diddy didn't stop.
Let me ask you, they looked at Diddy as one, a possible flight risk, but as two, as he could coerce witnesses. With having $75 million at his disposal, isn't that by nature the exact thing that they're worried about? If you have this much money, that you could make this thing, you could probably make people.
What does Paris Hilton do? I guess. Hell.
Paris Hilton is a wife and a mother now.
Very
She's not
true.
making
Very true.
SPX anymore.
Very true. Very true.
Ain't none of them married and don't none of them have no kids. So what do they do?
Do they have the ability to speak for the father though, based on jail phone calls saying that he's a
I don't
changed
know.
man?
I don't know. I don't know. Honestly, I don't even care. Really? I don't care.
This is the same family that had to leave the courtroom after hearing just what Diddy was doing to women. During the trial, after the prosecutors revealed just what Diddy had done to Cassie and Kim, his daughter stood up and left. There are even rumors that Delilah, Chance, and Jesse are allegedly distancing themselves from Diddy and planning to file for emancipation.
Let me tell you, not only because he had left, he was in the back of the court and then he went. I think they took up to like a back room, but the you know, all the Diddy kids are there, right? So his daughters are there. I was sitting behind them. It was awkward for me to watch them have to listen to all of this. After he started, the male Esther started getting into a lot of the masturbation and stuff, they got up and left.
Who told him to leave? Did Diddy say leave or?
No, Diddy didn't tell them to leave. I don't know if there was a conversation or not. I looked up from writing and I saw them get up, so I don't know. But I know that they were like checking on each other throughout. I saw them ask like Christian at one point, like, "You okay?"
After Diddy's sentence, his family walked out smiling while Diddy was crying and begging for mercy. Does this really look like a family that cares about what happens to their father?
Chaotic scenes as Diddy's family came to court to support him at his sentencing.
How you feeling today, Mama?
His mother, Janice, was followed by his son, Quincy, and 3 daughters who entered court hand in hand. Another son and his girlfriend were also there to show their support.
The reality of the situation is that Diddy's kids are just as bad as him. His sons are being sued for abuse that occurred at Diddy's freak-offs. If they lose any of these lawsuits, they're going away for just as long as Diddy. In April 2024, Grace Omar K filed a lawsuit against Christian King Combs, alleging sexual assault, battery, and intentional infliction of emotional distress during one of Diddy's freak-off parties. This party happened on Diddy's yacht, where Grace was hired to work as a stewardess. During the party, Christian pressured her to consume tequila, which he believes was spiked with drugs. She claims that once she lost consciousness, Christian abused her.
She was 25 years old at the time. She believed that the trip would be a, quote, wholesome family excursion, but says it, quote, turned into a hedonistic environment, even describing rampant drug use amongst sex workers and celebrities who came on board. She believes that the alcohol on the yacht had been laced with drugs because she says women would have one drink and then almost immediately pass out or start falling over. This is, by the way, something that it was also alleged in Jones's lawsuit, that Combs would spike the drinks of different people. But focusing on Christian Combs, Omarkey says that Christian Combs had been staying at a villa on the shore, but that he would come onto the yacht in the evening to party. And on December 28, 2022, Christian reportedly arrived very intoxicated and then proceeded to pressure Omarkey to take shots of tequila. She did. Christian allegedly tried to get her to drink more in the yacht's makeshift studio. Omarkey alleges that Christian kissed her neck, kissed her face, as he groped her legs, breasts, and private areas.
50 Cent said the same thing in his letter to the judge before Diddy's sentencing. 50 warned everyone of what Diddy was going to do once he got out. In his open letter, 50 Cent described his long-standing feud with Diddy, calling him very dangerous and claiming that he had fear for what Diddy might do to him. Near the end of the letter, 50 said Diddy's sons were involved in the same crimes, and if Diddy was let out, they would all return to doing the same things again.
Judge Submarinian. Now, he posts this as a text message. I don't know if this was a text message to his lawyer, where maybe he was instructing his lawyer to write this letter to the judge. If you don't know, the judge is accepting letters in the case of the sentencing of Sean P. Diddy Combs, who's set to be sentenced tomorrow. And 50 Cent decided to write his letter to the judge as well. If you don't know, at this point, I think it's abundantly clear that 50 Cent is the baby father of the child that belongs to not only 50, but the woman that is identified as Jane Doe. That woman, I think we now know, is Daphne Joy. So Daphne Joy's baby daddy is 50 Cent. So maybe there's a reason and there's some relevance here for 50 to have somewhat of a letter being sent to the judge. Why? Well, one of the two victims, or the main two victims, which is victim one, we all know is Cassie, but victim two is known as Daphne Joy. Who's Daphne Joy's baby father? 50 Cent. So he writes a letter and he says, "Dear Judge Submarinian, I've had an ongoing dispute with Puffy for over 20 years. He's very dangerous. Multiple times I have feared for my life. I think you should consider the safety of the general public, Your Honor, before unleashing him upon them. There hasn't been enough time for him to reform or make any adjustments, despite his trying to teach a class in there." This is how you know he actually wrote this. This is bad grammar. Despite his, it should be despite him trying to teach a class in there. As you're already aware, the government has spent maximum amount of money on deploying federal agencies, which appear to be an army, in two locations simultaneously. Later, his sons, who's dealing with his own R-word allegations, claimed that the feds had hit the wrong house. Anyway, Diddy's only going to return to hiring more male sex workers and keep most of the baby oil away from the general public, and babies needed. My Netflix doc on this scandalous subject is coming soon.